Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is May 12th. It is the 132nd day of the year. There are 233 days left in 2025. It's your 19th Monday in the 20th week. It's the 54th day of spring. You got 39 days left until summer. And if today's your birthday, your birthstone is an emerald. Today is Vesak Day. Vesak Day, or the Day of the Full Moon, is one of the most important dates on the Buddhist calendar. It celebrates the birth of Buddha in 1623 BC. It was also on this day that the Buddha attained enlightenment, and coincidentally, it's the day he passed away 80 years later. Buddhism is the fourth largest religion in the world, and it's one of the oldest. All right, let's see what else May 12th has given us. 1780, the American Revolutionary War. In the largest defeat of the Continental Army, Charleston, South Carolina, is taken by the British forces. Yeah, that was kind of a bummer for us. Worked so hard to keep the southern states going. I mean, New England, all that, there's all kinds of stuff going on up there. But this one was a, gut punch to the U.S., or what would become the U.S. A lot of people don't understand. The Revolutionary War went all the way down to South Carolina and North Carolina. Everyone always seems to think it was up in New York, New England, Boston, things like that. 1797, the War of the First Coalition. Napoleon Bonaparte conquers Venice. 1932, 2 weeks after his abduction, Charles Jr., the infant son of Charles Lindbergh, is found dead near Hopewell, New Jersey. 10 weeks after the shocking abduction of Charles Lindbergh Jr., the 20-month-old son of the famed aviator and his wife Anne, the nation's hopes turned to horror. On May 12, 1932, the toddler's body was discovered in a wooded area near Hopewell, New Jersey. A trucker spotted the tiny corpse partially buried and badly decomposed. Authorities confirmed the unimaginable. The child had been dead for weeks, likely killed the same night he was taken. The case gripped the American people from the start. On March 1st, the baby had vanished from his second-floor nursery, and it sparked an unprecedented manhunt and media frenzy. Despite a $50,000 ransom being paid and countless leads that followed, the child never returned home. The discovery of the body ended weeks of desperate hope and confirmed the fears that the crime was far more sinister than a mere kidnapping for ransom. The tragedy triggered a seismic shift in law enforcement and public policy, including the creation of the Federal Kidnapping Act, known as the Lindbergh Law, which made kidnapping a federal offense. 2 years later, a German immigrant named Bruno Richard Hauptmann was arrested, tried, and ultimately executed for the crime. But controversy and conspiracy theories would swirl for decades, making the Lindbergh baby case one of the most haunting and debated criminal investigations in American history. I watched this whole thing on PBS about it, and they had all these experts, handwriting people, and all this other stuff. And they had this sketch of another man, and they knew who that man was, but everyone said it was the other guy, not the guy that got killed or got put to death for it. It's one of those things we're never going to know the truth. It's too bad. Just a tragic, horrible story. 1949, the Cold War. The Soviet Union lifts its blockade of Berlin. 1982, a would-be assassin, a bayonet, and a pope who kept smiling. On May 12, 1982, in Fatima, Portugal, one of the most sacred sites in the Catholic religion, Pope John Paul II was making a public appearance to give thanks to the Virgin Mary. A year earlier, he survived an assassination attempt in St. Peter's Square, and he believed that Mary had a hand in saving his life. So on this trip to Fatima, it was deeply personal, sort of like a spiritual thank you tour. But apparently, not everyone was thrilled to see him. As the Pope moved through the crowd during the procession at the sanctuary of Our Lady of Fatima, a man suddenly lunged toward him with a bayonet. Yes, a bayonet, as in a World War I style weapon. The attacker was a Spanish priest named Juan Maria Fernandez, who had been excommunicated at this point in his life. Once affiliated with the ultra-conservative Catholic group Ferdinand de Crone, believed that Pope John II was a communist agent hell-bent on destroying the church from within. Let's just say he wasn't getting his theology from the Vatican-approved syllabus. Fortunately, a security guard tackled him before he could get close enough to do any damage. The Pope was unharmed and remarkably unfazed. he continued to visit, delivered a homily, and even prayed at the site where the 3 shepherd children had reportedly seen the Virgin Mary in 1917 like nothing had happened. It's just another Tuesday for this man. As for the assassin, he was arrested, tried in Portugal, and sentenced to 6 years in prison, though he served only a fraction of that. Afterwards, he went on to live in Belgium, where he became a lawyer, because naturally, nothing says career pivot like attempted assassination to lawyer. The incident is often overshadowed by the 1981 shooting in Rome. Yeah, a lot of people were out to get the Pope. I never knew this. I grew up Catholic schools, all that. I thought everyone in the world loved the Pope. Boy, was I wrong. We had to do security for him when he came to the United States. I was in the military. In Monterey, he did a speech, and we had to do the security. Oh my God, I was caught completely off guard. They told us we were there for crowd control and all that stuff, and riot control. I'm like, riot? The Pope's coming. Nobody hates the Pope, or at least, I thought something like that. Oh my God, these people were angry. They attacked us. I mean, they weren't being very Christian. I had an elderly man try and kick me in the junk like 3 times. On his 4th attempt, he caught a riot baton on the shin. It was kind of the end of his day. That happened at the Laguna Seca Raceway in Monterey. And we got mass going on behind us, and then we got in front of us all these people trying to, I don't know what they were trying to do. They weren't trying to protest. They were trying to hurt people. One thing I noticed there, this kind of gets off the on this day thing, but one thing I noticed that day was when people get in a crowd, they have a different mentality. When we would separate one of them, because if they got too close to the line, we'd use our batons to move them back past the line, and these other guys would arrest them. We'd only did that if they'd grabbed us or tried to hit us with something like that. So they were all fury and, angry and motivated until they got back there and got arrested. And then we're putting them in the police vans, and they're all in tears, begging to be let go and everything else like that. It's like, okay, once you get away from your riot friends, it's a different story. And this just wasn't the Pope thing. I mean, this is riots in general. I was also in the LA riots too. Same thing happened. 2008, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement conduct the largest ever raid on a workplace in Pottsville, Iowa, arresting nearly 400 immigrants for identity theft and document fraud. Died on this day, 2000, Adam Petty, American race car driver. Adam Kyle Petty was born on July 10th, 1980, and he was an American professional stock car racer, a member of the Petty family. His grandfather is like one of the icons of NASCAR racing, Richard Petty. But on May 12, 2000, in a practice session for the Busch 200 race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, which would have been his 48th career Busch Series start, Petty's throttle got stuck wide open into a turn on the track, causing the car to hit the outside wall virtually head on, killing Adam instantly from a skull fracture. He was only 19 years old. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.